Hello, we are here today with University of Sioux Falls Athletic Director Josh Snyder. We're talking about the new turf from AstroTurf, the partner with the University of Sioux Falls, that's going into Bob Young Field at the USF Sports Complex. And it was put in first day on May 14th, and within 5 to 7 weeks it should all be fully in place. Josh, tell us why this project is important to the University of Sioux Falls.
A lot of reasons, Dan. I think this is obviously a great season ahead of us here at USF. We finished 11-1 last year and won the Mineral Water Bowl, and this year, we've got a tremendous home schedule with several of the best teams in the conference as well as our in-town rival, and we want to have a tremendous season and a great experience for the fans. And so we think that this will be an added benefit to the season. On top of that, obviously the turf was 10 years old, was starting to wear out. We had undulations in it and things that we needed to get repaired, and so everything kind of pulled together all at once, and we got this thing taken care of.
It's hard to believe it's been almost 10 years since this turf has gone in, 2005. So it's really time to move forward. What does this mean for a lot of the other variables like recruiting and image branding and all those other issues that go into, and especially student safety, a very key part of it. All those factors go into buying this turf. Can you tell us why those are important for people?
I think one of the things that impressed me the most when I came here a year ago for my interview, and they brought me up here in the press box to overlook the stadium and the sports complex, and I was amazed. I mean, this is a fantastic situation and setup for a Division II football program, and the complex for from a Division II athletic standpoint. Honestly, the biggest thing that jumped out at me that detracted from that was the turf. It's a very plain surface. We didn't have any logos or lettering on it. It was just lines and numbers. And so I thought from the get-go, whenever this time comes, we're going to do something nice. We're going to put in our logo. We're going to label it. We're going to brand it. And we're doing things along those lines, not just at the turf, but in the buildings as well. We want to brand ourselves better. We want people to know when they walk into the facilities that we play in and compete in that they're at a USF building and they're there to cheer on the Cougars. And from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, there's not much more impressive view in Sioux Falls than coming up to this press box and looking out over our sports complex. And again, the biggest attraction is when you look out, you see this plain green field. Now it's going to be a big, huge Cougar from 35 to 35, and Sioux Falls and Cougars in the end zones, gray and purple, and it's going to be just fantastic. I can't imagine on game days when we have the prospects that are in here come up when I usually meet with them before games and just talk to them and their parents for a few minutes before they make their way down to their seats. I can't imagine a better situation than them coming up here and I talk to them and they turn around and see that amazing field. So we're very excited about it.
And then the partner AstroTurf came in and said that this is a very athlete-friendly in terms of safety field. Talk a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, there have been so many improvements in turf. I mean, I'm sure many of the people that are fans and donors and things can relate, but once upon a time when I played on turf fields back in high school, which it's over 20 years ago, 25 now I guess, you'd walk away with rug burns up and down your arms and legs. It was basically just carpet rolled out on top of concrete. When the first turf came out with this design, with the rubber infill and the sponge, it helps student athletes' knees. It helps their helps them from not getting the carpet burn standpoint, and that's been 15 years probably since that came out. So we're talking about advancements year after year. AstroTurf has put a lot of money into research and development over the years, and they were really the innovator of turf, and now they've got this product which we think is the best on the market. It's got a soy base, which we think is great for farmers in South Dakota that raise soybeans. And on top of that, the safety for our student athletes is going to be phenomenal. It's really cut back on injuries. They won't have as many knee injuries. It's got a release mechanism in the fiber that releases the cleats so that they don't have quite as many twists and turns and knee injuries. It's going to be great.
we all along with the press release and other announcements when we came out with the partnership announcement, you know, Astrofer stepped up from the very beginning, and we also have other. We have another company that's coming in. They're doing the munching of the turf, so to speak. So quickly talk through that process and how important those people all are as partners.
Well, AstroTurf is the manufacturer of the actual turf. They partner with Mid-American Turf Construction to do the construction part of it. So the takeout of our turf, the pouring of the rock and the laser leveling, and heavy rolling of it to make a nice surface underneath for drainage purposes, and then the laying of the new turf. So there are quite a few companies out there that do the building of it, the construction of it, but Mid-American is partnered with AstroTurf, so they do really all of their work, at least certainly in this part of the country. So so they came in, they've got a turf muncher, as you alluded to, that pulls up the old carpet, separates the rubber from it, takes the turf and rolls it into nice rolls that we can reuse or resell. We have had people interested in purchasing it for batting cages and things. And then the rubber, there's another machine that separates that and separates the really bad nothing crumbs that they can just disregard, and also the good chunks that they can reuse. And so better for the environment, less waste. They reuse some, and it's actually a cost savings as well.
This is really a momentum builder on the many things that have been going on campus. As we conclude this interview, talk about this in terms of the momentum for the department.
Well, this is great. Obviously, we have several projects we want to do. When I came in, a year ago, one of the things that I put a focus on over the past years, trying to decide for myself what I thought the priorities were in the department. I asked all of our coaches when I met with them for the first time to give me kind of their top 10 list. What are your needs and wants? And it could be, I told them it could be anything. And if it meant a brand new building and state-of-the-art facility, then put that number one. But understand it may not happen. But I want to know that what's their priority. What do they think is the most important thing for their team and their program? And then we can go from there. And then what I don't want to have happen from that is that they come back to me in 3 months and say, here's something that we want to buy, and we have to have it for our program. And I'm like, was it on your top 10 list? No. Well, okay, was it really that important then? So anyway, it helps them kind of figure out in their minds what they think is really important, and then it also helped me kind of determine what my priority list was. And clearly when I came up here, there's a few things we need to do up here to finish the press box, some minor things, but what I said, the biggest thing I noticed from a football standpoint was that turf. And so I'm glad we could get that taken care of at the end of my first year. We have a few more things we want to do, obviously moving forward. It never stops, but that was a high priority, and one more thing off the list.
And so fans will know, finally, this will take about 6 to 7 weeks, maybe 5 to 7 weeks to put in, and it'll be ready and in place before the start of fall practice, leading into the game with University of Mary here at Bob Young Field on September 5th.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're excited about it. We're going to try to have some sort of community event where we invite people out to check it out, maybe even go out on it, and maybe have a football clinic, some things like that would be great for the kids to go and run around the new Cougar. And so keep your eyes open for that kind of late summer.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.